Adult friendships are so hard, and I feel like no one really tells you or prepares you for how much extra time and energy it really takes to maintain and nurture friendships after you graduate. Like when you leave school, everyone moves in so many different directions, whether that's, geographically moving across the country or metaphorically across life stages. People also have so many more responsibilities as an adult with work, the desire to travel, a pet, and only a very finite amount of time and energy. It becomes more and more difficult to make time for friendships and see people consistently. Very quickly, it can feel like a chore. And unfortunately, that's kind of what happened for me. I just got really comfortable living with my boyfriend and our dog that I didn't really put myself out there to meet new people and continue to nurture the relationships that I currently have. Now looking back, this has affected my life quite a bit. I've let so many of my friendships from college dissipate and deteriorate, and I think a lot of us have fallen into this loneliness epidemic, and it really sucks. So this year, I made it my goal to create community and rekindle my friendships, but life hasn't just gotten less busy because I've decided I wanted to prioritize friendships, right? So today I'm going to share with you all the best micro habits for friendship. These have transformed my relationships and they're really easy to do. So if you're busy, you've got a lot of things on your plate, you can still focus on nurturing these friendships because community is so important. So without further ado, let's kick off today's video. Micro habit number 1 is to always be planning your next hangout or call during the current one. This tip is life-changing, okay? If you take any habit from this video, let it be this one because it will streamline and take away all of the pain of going back and forth and trying to make plans with someone because you already have a date in mind. So me and my friend Rachel, we just reconnected earlier this year. And ever since the first time we started hanging out again, we have put a date on the calendar for when we'll see each other next. This has made our friendship so much easier to maintain because it takes the pressure off of either one of us to ask the other person to hang out. It's made it so that we don't question whether or not our friendship is going to continue. And I think that's what happens a lot of the time, right? In adult friendships, it's like, oh, you don't see them for a while, your friendship just dissipates. I also recommend doing this with your long distance friends. I now have a monthly reoccurring call with a few of my friends. It's just so nice knowing that even if we don't text for a while, there's going to be a dedicated space and time in the near future for us to actually catch up. So always find a date for your next hangout or call. Even if that date doesn't end up working, you'll at least have it on your calendar to text each other and reschedule. You'll make it into a habit to actually see each other. The next micro habit is to take 2 minutes of social media time to text back your friends. I am a notoriously bad texter. Okay. A lot of times my friends and I will text in paragraphs instead of day-to-day communication. We'll text, on a weekly basis. Because of that, it can really be a mental block for me to sit down and have the time to respond. Now I've really tried to make it a habit that before I jump onto Instagram or TikTok, I will choose one person to text back. Being very vulnerable here, the time I actually do this the most is on the toilet because, there are times you are sitting down and you gotta pull out the phone. Just having an extra time that I know I want to dedicate to texting people back has made it so I actually remember. It's like, oh, sit down on the toilet. I should text someone back. Toilet texting. That's what the micro habit is. Micro habit number 3 is to be vulnerable. I think a lot of times when we catch up with people, it's really just to fly by the details and just say, it was good and not really express how you actually experienced the event or reflect on it. But by never diving further, it's going to be a lot more difficult to have deeper and closer connections with people, especially when you have a finite amount of time. And if you're asking me, well, Sarah, how do I actually do that? It's scary to open up to people that I'm just starting to get to know or rekindling friendships with. My answer to you is do self-reflection. When you spend time with yourself, when you journal, when you get to know how you're experiencing life through your lens and admit all of that to yourself, it becomes a lot easier to share that part of you with other people. So practice introspection, take time to be your own best friend. And the beautiful thing about being vulnerable in your friendships is that it will be so much easier to be around your friends. For a long time, I used to hide a big part of me, the part of me that wanted to be a content creator, because I thought it was embarrassing and stupid. And every single time I would show up to my friends, I would be wearing a mask. As soon as I became confident in that part of me and took the mask off, my friendships became so much less taxing. They became so much more rewarding because I could be myself. I didn't have to pretend or put on a show every single time I saw them. And the more open you are about who you are, the more you'll want to actually be around these people and invest time in these relationships. So make it a habit to be vulnerable, even if it's just a little bit extra each time. Number 4 on the list is to learn your friends' love languages. The 5 love languages are quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, giving gifts, and physical touch. Every single person has a different way in which they like to receive love the best. Make it a point to just ask your friends what their love language is so that you can speak to it and grow your relationship so much quicker. One of my friends I noticed would always bring me back a gift from all of her trips, like a tiny little souvenir, whether it was like a little candy or funny memorabilia from the place. She would always bring me something. And I quickly realized that her love language was gifts. So every single time I went on a trip, I would bring her back a tiny souvenir to let her know that I was thinking about her while I was gone. Another one of my friends told me that her highest is words of affirmation / quality time. So when her birthday rolled around, I made sure, we had a date on the calendar to celebrate her. And I also wrote her a really sweet card because words of affirmation. So just ask your friends what their love languages are, because you'll be able to connect with them so much more and fulfill the way that they want to be loved. 5th on the list is to always tell someone thank you or text them whenever you're thinking of them. I am such a huge believer that if you have something lovely and nice to say, you should not keep it to yourself. There are a lot of things in this world that you should be keeping to yourself, but positivity is not one of them, okay? Why keep such niceness to yourself if you can go and make someone's day and strengthen that relationship? So when someone just crosses your mind and you're thinking about them, send them a text and say, hey, thinking about you, or you see this picture of you two, send them the photo, or you see a meme, send them the meme. Whenever someone does something nice for you, always say thank you and let them know that you're appreciative of what they're offering you or doing for you. I have this core memory of one of my friends in college telling me about how this girl was talking bad about her, but she ended the story with, yeah, she's not my cup of tea, but she's going to be a great journalist. And when I heard that story, I was just like, wow, you have so much humility. Like, you are really the bigger person. So every single time someone kind of is hostile to me or makes me feel bad, I always think of her because she is the one that taught me, don't retaliate. Why retaliate? And so this core memory has stuck with me for a while. And the last time that I thought of it, I texted her and I was like, hey, thought of you because of this. It reopened the conversation between us because we hadn't chatted for a while since college, and I caught up with her. And I'm sure from her perspective, it was probably nice to hear that she had a lasting impact on someone else's life. So whenever you're thinking something nice about someone else, please tell them. Just send them a text. Micro habit number 6 is to actively engage with your friends' social media. I don't know why, but I feel like recently Instagram and TikTok just feels like there's a bunch of lurkers. Everyone's lurking. You can see who views your story. You can see who views your profile on TikTok if you have that option on. And sometimes it just feels really odd because it's like, why are you looking and not engaging? Like, true friends hype you up, It's super easy when your friend posts a story that you think is cute. Girl, okay? Swipe up, react, comment, whatever. That's so low lift and so low energy. Whenever someone does that to me, it makes me feel heard. So I always try and do that for all of my friends. I will shout out Rebekah Joy on this one. Gosh, I mentioned Rebekah in almost every single one of my videos, but seriously, she is chef's kiss, like S-tier friend, okay? She's been my supporter since day one, commenting on my YouTube videos. She always comments on my Instagram posts. Like, she is a ride or die, and she makes me feel so special. She sets such a great example for me. I need to do better on this, but yeah, shout out to Rebekah. Go check out her channel. I'm going to say it every single time because I'm just such a huge fan of her. Anyways, to wrap up number 6, actively engage on social media, okay? Don't be creepy, don't be a lurker, and hype up your friends. Social media is the easiest way to do it. The last micro habit is to remember and celebrate your friends' birthdays. I've started to just put all my friends' birthdays into their contact information in my phone, and that's synced to my calendar. So my calendar reminds me when my friend's birthday is coming up. There's so many great things about remembering your friends' birthdays. The first one being, it's their special day. It's nice to know that someone is celebrating them, whether that's just through a text or actually planning something special or sending them a gift. We have a friend joining us who also believes in birthdays. Anyway, birthdays are special. And when you acknowledge them, you show that person you care about them and you're thinking about them. For people that you're not actually that close with, it gives you some space to catch up with them. There are a few friends that I don't talk to very frequently, but every single time their birthday comes up, I'll send them a text and we'll catch up. And it's a good prompt to reignite and continue that friendship. So put birthdays into your calendar. All right, so those were 7 micro habits that you can develop today to start strengthening and nurturing your friendships again and really create that community that you've always wanted. We all get so busy in our lives that friendships can, really just fall off our plates, but they are so important to maintain and grow. So start these micro habits. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'd love to hear any other tips on friendships that you might have in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.